Thank you, Lynn, and it has been a great pleasure working with the Planning Committee, and I think we're having a great start to what Mike and his colleagues need at FDA. I've got the pleasure today to just introduce the participants. You can see the lineup of names here for session one. The session is Other Components Impacting Caffeine Effects, and it's going to be a facilitated discussion. I'm just going to actually kind of get out of the way and turn it over to Steve Schaefer. He'll make some initial comments, and then he will facilitate the discussion. But let me introduce the lineup of speakers for you. Stephen Schaefer, PhD, is a professor of pharmacology at the University of South Alabama. And as I said, he will guide this discussion among his other panel members. A new person to our meeting today is Dr. Christina Chambers, PhD, professor in the Department of Pediatrics in the School of Medicine at UC San Diego. And Christina's efforts and focus will be on the pregnancy and effects on infants. That's her specialty. And welcome, Christine. You missed yesterday, yeah? But you missed a good day. But we're also hearing from Christina in the session later this morning. And then I'm the pleasure to bring back four people who you heard yesterday. Dr. Sergi Ferri, MD, PhD, is a senior investigator and chief of integrative neurobiology at NIDA. Dr. Jeff Goldberger, clinical cardiac electrophysiologist at Northwestern, will be joining us. Roland Griffiths, who you heard from yesterday, professor in the Department of Psychiatry and Neurosciences at Johns Hopkins. And then John Higgins, and you're right there, you're right up front here, okay. Associate Professor of Medicine, and he's been introduced several times, so I'll stop there, but welcome again. And then finally, happy to bring Carl Keene up front. Carl has worked very, very hard on our planning committee. He and I got the prize for waking up the earliest. They kept having, 9 and 10 o'clock conference calls in the East, and so Carl and I had to get up pretty early. But Carl, professor and chair of the Department of Nutrition at UC Davis, my alma mater. So if you'd all come up and take your seats, and we'll hear from Steve Schaefer first. And I'll actually, Steve, you want to do this from, why don't you start from?